People, welcome back to another one in this wonderful evening, which is pretty much dark outside. But anyway, in today we'll be kind of like reviewing kind of like a decent purchase going back a couple of months that I did um, buy, which is this Sealey Premium Ratchet reversible spanner set over here. This is a 12-piece metric one, so it goes from all the way to 8 mil all the way to 19. Excuse me for that. Part number for this is AK63944. So if you want to check that out online, whatever you purchase your tools, whether it's eBay, Amazon, whatever, you name it, just go there, check it out. Price wise, you're kind of looking about £130. Like, you may be able to get it cheaper if you like find a seller that has it on discount, like 150, 120 or whatever. But that's roughly where you're going to be looking at prices. Now the set does come with a rack of its own. It's not like this blue one over here, but I did change. I put the spanners in the smaller blue rack over here because the one that the set does come with kind of has like a handle at the back, which kind of like makes the rack bigger. And then obviously when you want to store your tools in your toolbox, you want to make use of that space as much as possible. So having a spare handle or a bigger size rack doesn't really help the situation. So if you can get a smaller rack in there that keeps the spanners organized, in my opinion, why not? Anyway, moving along with the spanners themselves. Now, as at first glance, these are kind of like a little silver matte finish, I would say, with a kind of like a little red ring over here, which kind of like makes them stand out. Some people like that. I don't really mind. Some other people like the kind of like the chrome finish, which is shiny and all of that. Again, for me, it doesn't matter. There are some different ones out there, kind of like a matte black finish over there. It's down to you. What kind of tools you like. If you like them shiny, if you like them simple, or if you just like me, doesn't really care. As long as the tool performs, that's pretty much all I care. Anyway, now, like I mentioned in the beginning, these are kind of like got the special function, as I would say, which is the switch. Kind of like your ratchet that's got like a switch. So you can change from tightening to kind of like from loosening to tightening. So that's the whole idea of this kind of like special feature on this set. Now, the spanners themselves, kind of like with similar other designs as well, they do have kind of like an offset. Not really sure if it's like 20 degrees or 30 degrees. Whole point or like the whole idea behind that is basically when you're loosening something, you don't bust your knuckles onto whatever damn thing. But anyway, that's a nice feature as well. By getting on to the main feature, which is the reversible switch, like I was talking before. The whole main idea is this is especially if you like tight spaces, which basically you can't even get your fingers in there, let alone a socket and a ratchet. So this one kind of like solves the problem. Um, the kind of like downside with the regular conventional ratcheting spanner is because it doesn't have the switch like these ones. The only way to like change the direction of the ratchet that let's say you're loosening something, if you want to change the direction of the mechanism and then make it go forwards, you need to like flip the spanner 180 degrees and then kind of like tighten it or whatever you want to do, vice versa. Now the problem with that is, which it did happen to me, kind of like close call, I would say, is I think it was like mainly on starter motors that I was doing. Basically, I can't remember exactly what car it was, but very tight tolerances, basically no room, struggling to like get my hand in there and then take off the fastener. I was loosening off the fastener, big long bolt as usual, and then I almost came like I came like really close to, I don't know what was it like a engine mount or like a bracket, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but you get the whole idea. You come close to an obstacle, and then if you can't loosen anymore, then you're basically stuck with a kind of like half loosened fastener, and then the ratchet won't go anywhere. So the whole idea of this, like the benefit, the major benefit of these ratchets is, if that does happen, basically just flick the switch and then kind of like tighten it back, remove the ratchet, and then take it the rest of the way with, with your fingers. Now the downside to like this set that I kind of like particularly found out recently when I was using them is, at the beginning I was kind of like, I thought maybe I'd done it by mistake or it accidentally happened, so I didn't pay much attention. But over the time using them, I did realize this is kind of like a common or continuous thing that was happening, and it's just not like in this case like the 16 mil I was holding. 10 mil does it. I don't know, like 18 or whatever. I would say pretty much all of them have like this kind of like flaw. Obviously, in ratcheting spanners, you got the paw, and then you got like obviously the ring in there with the teeth. Now I don't know if you can see that, but uh as I'm moving the kind of like the ratchet, I don't know if you can see that, but come on, focus. Maybe not. Nah, let me get a bigger one. But yeah, basically what I did notice is I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can actually see a little bit over there. So you can see like kind of like the switch over here as this ratcheting is like moving, which is kind of like quite big movement if you ask me. So I think the major like kind of like manufacturing flaw excuse me, manufacturing flaw with this set is probably the spring D10 that holds the paw, like holds pressure against the paw with the ring. That might be like, they might not have enough spring tension. So because what will happen is basically, you're loosening something, and then because the like you can see the switch mechanism kind of like flies about again, basically that one will switch off by itself. I don't know how. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I thought maybe I'd done it by mistake, so I didn't pay much attention. But after using the same ratchet or another size one, 14, 13, whatever, I was like, yeah, this is kind of like, it happens quite a lot. So I was like trying to figure out why, and I think that's the reason. Kind of like poor design on the D10, the spring D10 that holds the paw on there. So yeah, that's the kind of like thing I dislike about this ratchet. Overall strength, I would say they're pretty solid if you ask me, because I did have to like put like a long span extension or an extension bar, if you may so call it, because I was doing like I can't remember, it was like some suspension work, I think a lower arm or something. Couldn't get really there to the fastener with a socket and a spanner, socket and a ratchet, excuse me. And I put like I think it was 17, 18, whatever the case might be. Obviously not enough leverage off the tool, because obviously the spanners, they are limited uh, in length. So I did put like a span extension, get a little bit more torque out of this. And then the paw didn't slip, the tooth, they seem to be working fine. So it did have grip, it was solid. It's just over the time when I was like going through the motion, it was just like flick. Which, if you ask me, when you buy like a reverse ratcheting spanner set, if the switch kind of like malfunctions, it basically kills the whole idea of like buying a set like these. So I don't know whether I would recommend these to another lad or anyone who's like looking to invest in reversible um, ratchet spanners. I will probably maybe pay a little bit more, maybe get like a gear wrench or another brand. Obviously, you get, you choose what you buy. If you like Snap On, go with Snap On. Gear wrench, whatever brand you like. For me, it's not like I got anything against Sealey. I mean, I do have Sealey impact sockets, the premium ones, and I use them on a daily basis, and I'll be honest, they're pretty damn solid. I didn't have any problem with them cracking or whatever. So it's just kind of like a little bit of a letdown with this set, which I was expecting not to be the best, but to get the job done. That's what I think of Sealey. Like, it's a good brand, not the best. Obviously, it's because it's not like, it's kind of like a decent brand. It gets the job done though, and obviously, it's cost less than your regular, I don't know, like bigger brands like Matco, Snap On, Gearwrench, or whatever. But yeah, I think in this situation, I will probably go with something a little bit more expensive, or I would say better build quality. If you ask me, it doesn't necessarily have to be more expensive. As long as the build quality is good, I will go with that. So yeah, overall, I mean, I'm still gonna use this. I'm not gonna invest in another set. Kind of like I'm gonna hang out with these, see what happens. Hopefully, it doesn't keep doing that all the time. But yeah, I still got some other ratchet spanners that I can use, so I might be using them as well. But yeah, basically that's the whole video of this set, guys, which I think is kind of like, again, kind of like a letdown. I don't know if any other people have like if any of you people have the same set as this and they're facing the same problems. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you agree, or if you're having again the same problem, and then I don't know, maybe some warranty or something, they can solve the issue, get you another set. So yeah, let me know, and then I'll see you in the next video. Peace.